What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Nanny News. It's your host, Ashley, aka Nanny Announcements. And this week is our third interview for our series of nannies. If you do not know, we have been sitting down with 5 extraordinary nannies this month and allow them to share their story. The past 2 weeks, we have posted 2 different interviews. Our first one was Courtney, and the last week's was Miss Monique. If you have not checked out those interviews, please go do so. Those 2 women are been in this game, in this nanny industry for a minute, and are also some moms as well. So go find out their story, how they got it into being a nanny, and how they handle being a mom and a nanny at the same time. But this week is all about my girl, Meeches. I love Meeches. She is literally so much fun to be around. She's like the life of the party at every event. She's always at every event. She supports you like no other, and she's just always there for you. Miss Meeches is a bilingual nanny and came all the way from Guatemala and has allowed us to hear her nanny story. So let's go find out how Meeches became this fantastic professional nanny. All right, let's go here. Before we get started with anything, we got to talk about our sponsorship for this week. This week's sponsorship is Playful Arc. Playful Arc is a company that educates and inspires folks of all ages to get outdoors and persuade the magic of childhood through natural play. They are a small business that adopts a playful adventure and a spirit maker. They love to get outdoors, explore the world around us, and document their journey. Are you passionate about exploring the world outside in this wildness that we have around us? Well, you can discover products inspired by curiosity and fun if you go to shop.playfularc.com. There you will find vinyl stickers and stickers to remind and inspire you to get outside. You will also find a nature journal to document your nature adventures outside. And coming soon, you'll be able to purchase outdoor toys and accessories to help expand your access and enhance your experience in the nature. So if you guys are very passionate about going outside, love having your children play through natural play, Playful Arc is your place, your page to go to. If you go to @PlayfulArc, please go hit that follow button. Y'all see that fly? Oh, so sorry. Excuse me. But anyways, they are, this company is, the owner behind this company is Reagan. If we don't know who Reagan is, she is a nanny. And she's been a nanny and a mom. And she literally she's so fun. Like, she has this really fun, spunky personality about her. And I really have just been connecting with her throughout these past few weeks, doing different groups that we were involved in with each other. And I just love you, Reagan. You are just so fun-spirited, go-getter, don't care what other people think of you, and just out here doing your thing. And I can tell that nature is your passion. And the fact that you took your passion and have turned it into a business is even more dope. So we need to go support her. You need to go shout her out. I know that all of us go outside as with children. When we're nannies, we literally all go outside and play in the nature. I personally, as a nanny, love nature play. So I love Playful Arc. So if you are looking for vinyl stickers to help you inspire you to get outside, to remind you to get outside, if you need a journal to document all your adventures that you have been, because we all know we got some adventures and sometimes it's hard to remember what you did, especially if you've been a nanny for some years. And sometimes you may be able to go back to that journal and get some ideas if you're working with a different family compared to the other, you know what I'm saying? Reagan know what she doing, okay. You can also find, remember, toys are coming out soon and accessories. That is going to be huge, y'all. So keep your eyes out on that. And we will make sure that we shout that out on our page when those come out. If you do go to shop.playfulart.com and grab some of these accessories and you spend over $20, you get 10% off by using our discount code Nanny News. That's right. If you go to shop.playfulart.com right now and spend over $20 or maybe exactly $20, you will get 10% off that entire order if you use the code Nanny News. Thank you so much, Reagan, for sponsoring this episode. Thank you so much for giving a discount code to my subscribers. It means a lot to me. We love you, Reagan. Y'all go support shop.playfulart.com and go follow them at Playful Arc on Instagram. All right, guys, let's get to our interview for this week. So we are sitting down with Meeches. I'm so excited to sit down with her today and hear her nanny story, her nanny journey. And so Meeches, we're going to have you introduce yourself, kind of where you're at right now, like where you're from, where you're working at right now, and how long you've been a nanny. And yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Meche Rosales Mopin, and right now I am in New York City. I live in New York City for the past 17 years of my life. I've been living here, but I'm original from Guatemala City, and I immigrated in 2005 to New York, and I'm being a nanny since that time, and it's been amazing journey all over New York. I've been a nanny, and it's been amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
Oh. So why did you become a career nanny? Was there like a specific moment that clicked like, oh yeah, this is for me? Or were you kind of just brought into it? And I don't know, really just, you didn't really realize this was nanny and now this is a career. I can make this a career.
Yes, I was in the childcare industry since before I studied to be a teacher back in Guatemala. And when I came to New York, I came to do a play therapy training, and I was working in the daycares in some Head Start programs. And then when I was there, I was like, I love being around kids and teaching kids and stuff like that. And the play therapy was amazing. But all the paperwork, all the uh, funny rules that they have, too many rules in that daycare. It's like, because it's kids from like 2 to 5 years old, no? Cuando they more need hugs and being like, and they're like, you cannot hug them, you cannot touch them. I was like, this is insane. This is insane for me.
Yep, I feel
Especially,
and then lesson plans, they
especially
want to do
coming,
lesson plans and daycares
yeah,
or like every only day
yeah,
for kids
yeah,
an hour.
especially coming from Guatemala. That in Guatemala we are more, Latin people is more hugging and kissing,
Yeah.
and they did that. A 2-year-old boy needs a hug and a kiss. But I understand the rules too, because all the child abuse and all of that. But then is when I realized, when I was finishing with that program, it's like what I can do, that I can apply everything I know as a teacher, and I realized I can be a nanny. And I was already doing it when I was doing that program, because I was doing the after school, picking up kids after school and stuff like that. But then I realized that I wanted to do something more one-on-one with kids.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
the parents get to know you, you can hug the kids, and then it's when I start my career as a nanny. And it's like I realized, like after 2 years, like, oh no, this is my call in life. This is what I meant to be doing in life, caring for kids. Yeah.
So when you started being the nanny, are you an agency or an agency nanny where you go through agencies, or are you more like a freelance where you kind of find your own or
Yeah, what's freelance? Someone told me they can put an ad in Craigslist back in the day. That was the way you find jobs here in New York, in Craigslist.
yeah
And it was amazing. You put an ad, and 20 people, like 3 hours later, it's 20 people asking for you,
for you?
offering you, offering you jobs.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
So
how I started. Yeah.
kind of how you started. So are you doing
Yeah.
that now, or you are kind of in the agency life?
No, because the Craigslist got a really bad reputation
Okay.
after many things that happens, and then you put a Craigslist, but that don't work anymore like it used to.
I was just about to
Now
ask.
it's yeah, now it's more than the moms recommended me with other moms, um, in the Facebook pages, the ads. But also, the job that I have right now is because I belong to this organization called Carol Garden Nanny Association. And then
Okay.
the mom called there to ask me for a nanny, and that's how I got my job.
I was just about to ask you, so are you working, what you're working now is with a family right now? So
Yes,
what
yeah.
kind of like is your daily schedule look like? Are you like full time with them, like Monday through Friday? Are you doing part time with them or
Well, I was, it's really, it's so funny because I was doing a temporary job with this family because
okay?
he was in a maternity leave. And it
Got
was a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and it was nice. And then the nanny came back. And
it.
when the mom had a baby, and the
Baby.
nanny came back, and then they were giving me some hours to like, in the meantime, I was finding another job. And then they settled with the nanny and say, okay, this is the hours that we have for you. And the nanny said, oh, well, that's not work for me because it's too little hours. And then they turned to me, how much do you want the job? I said, like, yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because it's going to be less hours during the summertime. You know, summer is the time to enjoy life.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. So
And then I going to continue with this family. So funny, I want to continue with them. Yeah,
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 continue. So
yeah.
what is a funny nanny story if you're allowed to share that you had ever experienced? Because I know you've been experienced some funny things because that's what
Yes,
you do.
I have many stories
So is
from
there one
my.
that specifically sticks out to you that
Yes, I have one. Is I funny. I think I shared it with you one
I
time.
I'm curious.
I was one time putting ready these kids, two kids to go out. We were
Okay.
nanny these two kids. I think um, the older boy was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and the younger was like 2.5. And then we were putting the shoes. It was summertime, and I was sitting in the step tying her sister's shoes, no? And then he came back to me and said, "Oh, Matches, you have a big fat belly." And I say, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true." Compared because her mom was really skinny, and then it's already say yes, it's true. And I said to him, "I love your honesty, but the way you say it to me is hurtful.
Okay.
But maybe you can say it in a way that is less hurtful, like more funny or something like that." And then I just saw him like standing up, like thinking, no? And I continued doing my thing with the little girl. And then he came back to me and said, "Oh, Matches, I know you have a Santa Claus belly." Ah, yeah, man. Yes, yes, see there. Right?
Yeah,
That's
you
the way. That's the way.
try, man. He listened and he said, "Okay, I'll try." Okay, so what about this one? He just, you know what I'm saying?
And I say, yes, I say, yes, either you got it. And I just sit in the stair and I start cracking out because I love it. He listened, and it's like, because you know what is the best thing to have when you have an adult person that is honest, no?
No, yeah, no,
Because another people will say to him, "Oh, you don't say that because that
right.
no, this is the truth. Why you
It's
going to
true.
like?
No, I know what you
It's true.
mean.
It wasn't that he was lying to me or he was saying something offensive. No, it's the truth."
Yeah, he's speaking the
And
truth.
then
That's
it
what they
was
say
so
about
funny. You have a
like,
Santa Claus belly. Me say like, yes, I do.
that's hilarious, man.
Yeah, I love
Your
that's
minds. I love it because, like, that's why
yeah.
as adults we don't speak our minds like that too much. And I'm like, man, we need to get back to our kid life where we just would tell each other, like, hey, that ain't right.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
uh,
a really funny. That's one of the funniest. I always that is a memory in my heart that I always keep because it's always so
it's a
funny.
funny
Yeah.
one. No, I know. See, there's some, funny things happen to us a lot, but there's some that just
Mm-hmm.
like stick with us. Like, oh yeah,
Yes,
you got me
it
on that
was
one.
the stick
Like,
with you
uh,
forever. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
yeah.
So, we know you came from Guatemala. So, are you when you become like when you nanny, do you teach them like bilingual language, or is that one of your, niches that you try to sell yourself to with families that you're like a bilingual, or you kind of keep it?
Yes, I do. I use the bilingual stuff to sell myself to like they pick me. But
Okay.
there is the funny part is like everyone thinks that you're going to get more money because you are bilingual, but no. you don't get more money.
Yeah.
You get the same money, but I still speaking to them in Spanish. Especially, it's weird, especially when I get them as a babies.
Yeah.
I love to rock them
I,
in Spanish.
oh,
Like
I bet.
I singing them in Spanish. It's really,
Yeah, no, I bet. No, I think it's so cool. I wish I was bilingual or just learn a different
yeah.
language. I mean, just being able to teach them this and that. I mean, you're teaching them a different language, which
Yes. And also I feel like it's so important because you open their mind. There is the world is something more big than just the block where you live. It's something so big.
yeah,
And especially in New York, we are lucky there is nannies from all Latin America. And then
yes.
we get together in the park and then they listen to all the different accents. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah, diverse nannies. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, yeah,
Because
that's
every country speak Spanish in different ways, no?
right.
Uh, and then
Oh,
it's so amazing because these kids get together with these nannies and listen to all these different languages. Yeah, no languages, the different accents.
different actions. Yeah. And so did you have any of your nanny kids ever like you're like you talk to them or something and they come back and talk to you in like Spanish? You're like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
sometimes they do. A lot of the nannies, the week nanny, they especially with the nannies they've been with the kids for longer. They speak. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When they grow up with them. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Because it's so funny because these kids are so smart and they know with who they have to speak English and with who speak Spanish and
Yeah.
yeah, they are.
And kids are sponges. So once you are like, you teaching them this, that
Mm-hmm.
you're grasping it. And nowadays, I mean,
Yeah,
you're learning new languages, all that, like, especially in school, they're like requiring you to learn these languages
yeah.
and you're giving them a jump
And
start.
also, that I have this, I nanny these little girls from she was 6 months old until she was almost 2.
Okay.
But then they moved to Denmark,
Okay.
and and then the mom says that she adapted so easily to the daycare, even they was Danish they were speaking. But I feel like it's because, and the mom says, I feel like it's because they were with you and used to speak another languages and hear so many
Different
people that is
languages.
different. Yes.
Yeah.
And
No,
they
yeah.
and it
That
was so easily. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really what it is. Like you're really making a bigger impact on them. And a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
families may not realize that right now, but and even the kids that
Mm-hmm.
doing, but they'll know
Mm-hmm.
when they're like in school and they have to learn these things, or they're in
Mm-hmm.
an environment where people are only speaking that language because it's and they're
Yes.
like, how do I deal with this? So yeah,
Yeah.
you're teaching them. That's so cool.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Um, do you have Okay, what's your favorite thing about being a nanny? What's your one thing about, what's your favorite thing?
Well, my favorite thing is like cuando I get the kids like babies and teaching them all the nice stuff about life, how
Yeah.
amazing life is. You
Yeah.
teaching them to eat, to walk, to all these things, and you're taking them for the first time to the park, the swims. Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Just
And it's beautiful because I feel like it's so important what are you doing with these kids and you're teaching them to be good human beings.
Yep. We're shaping the future. We're raising
Yes.
the future. We can be raising the future doctors, the presidents, like the new entrepreneur, the new business owners and all of
Yeah.
that. So like
And
yeah.
that's why I always fighting about to tell society how important the job of the nanny is,
Yes.
because we are as important as a CEO, a company, or a lawyer, or a banker. And I feel like we are more important because when a banker or a lawyer can be doing a paper and they see, oh, fuck, we did the mistake. I'm sorry. We mistake something. we
No,
mistake. We did a mistake. We had to redo this paper. Even it's 3,000 pages, but you can just rip it up and do it again, even it take a time. But as a nanny, if you do something wrong with the kids, you cannot redo it. You cannot do it. No,
no, we have one
no.
of the highest jobs ever. Like we risk our life or our us every
Yes.
day. I mean, going to work every day, or even when we sign contracts, like
Yeah.
because we are literally.
That's that's why it's important that we be professionals and we continue educating ourselves and continue knowing what is the new stuff and what we should be doing and stuff like that. Yeah, because it's also being a nanny is a position that's changing all the time.
Yes.
what you did 10 years ago. I seen it because I've been 17 years doing this, and it's changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot continue doing the thing I did 17 years ago. Today it's not work. It will not work.
It doesn't work. Society's changed. Kids have changed. The way parenting styles have changed. And yeah, you're right. Nanny is always constantly changing. I mean, we change
Yes.
our jobs. I mean, most, especially if you're working with younger kids, I mean, you're changing your jobs maybe
Yeah.
every 3 to 4 years, every 2 to 3,
Yes.
depending on the family's needs. So
Yeah, because like 17 years ago, the method was you let the kids cry until they fall asleep. But no, now you don't do that anymore.
right now,
The
parents are
cry
like,
method, you don't
we
do
got
that.
cameras now. We're like, why am I baby
Yeah.
crying? Like,
Yeah, but you know that because that was the method of the crying to sleep method. That was the way that
oh,
you
that's
teach you.
girl, I still do that
Yeah.
method. I don't care what I be trying to, I'm like, no, the crying to the sleep. That's like,
And
yeah.
then you don't do this is like being out of style right now is so many new styles that you have to learn. That's why you always have to be learning these new things.
I mean, you
Yeah.
have to, yeah, you just have to stay up to date
Yes.
with us. Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
always motivate my nanny sisters to continue with education.
Yeah, no, yeah, I feel you because there's so much just changing so left and right, and so many different products are coming out and different foods, and people are wanting the babies to be organic and not eat all
Yeah.
these things, and it's like it's just too much. Like it's just sometimes I'm like it's almost too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have for niches, do you have anything coming up for yourself as a good nanny or for your, your page, or what are some things you have planned for your nanny kids?
Well, for me personally,
As
what
a
I
mom?
would like to see, that's what I'm trying to do with my page too, trying to organize nannies, to create nanny groups and organize them and tell them what is your rights and what you're supposed to be doing and stuff like that, to how to be more professional. Yeah.
Okay, I like
In
that.
my career,
You need
continuing.
a dating group where it's like the people, because all those groups can be very drama. Like I was just talking to a couple of nannies about this the other day because there was some drama that happened in one of the groups, and she was like, "That's real juicy to share," and I was like, "Oh no!" I said, "That's the drama that I just don't have time to be sharing on my channel." And we got on the subject about groups, and I was like, "We need a group where it's not, I guess, drama. Like I mean, some of these things I be seeing on there, I'm like, y'all are like the way they reply to nannies. I'm like, it's just so disrespectful. Like you don't know, like
Yep.
she's really asking for advice, and you over here bashing her because she made that. Like you don't know what she went through. Like we don't know the whole story.
Yeah, but we
Like
don't know the concept. But that's
I,
what I love about the community that we create, actually, with the nannies during the pandemic through the Zoom and the Instagram page. It's so amazing because I don't feel, because I don't feel jealousy or envy of these nannies. I see my sisters and I will ask them questions and I know that we go get a good answer,
right,
an honest and loving answer, not these answers in Facebook. It's like,
right. That's what.
I
Yeah,
don't, I don't being attacked or what do you, yeah,
yeah,
no, and
yeah,
that's the kind of communities they want to create. For example, with Nanny of the Year in Clubhouse, that we see each other every day, and it's so lovely, and we cheer the wins of people and stuff like that. That's what we should be creating.
yeah.
And
No,
also as if our nanny sisters create um, a product or stuff like that, they support them.
yep,
Yeah. If
yeah,
they become entrepreneurs, why not you support them?
yeah,
You got to go spend the money in Target. No, you spend it with your sister. Yeah, with your nanny sister. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I want to create. Yes.
Yeah.
Promote more that
Make
sister.
them more of a nanny sister, like a sister
So,
community. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And we
girl.
leave each other, because I really believe if one of our nanny sister is getting paid $10 an hour, all of us going to get paid $10 an hour, because the moms talk and they always want to cheap us out. Yeah, they always. And that's how you lift them up. I say,
Yep.
no, we don't charge that. It's 15, it's 20. I
Yeah.
say,
No,
I
yeah.
don't, no, 10, no.
Yeah. Just want to keep making it like impacting these because yeah, there's a lot of nannies still
Yes,
out here that are still I don't want
yes,
to say clueless, but I guess not up to par of what's happening. With what we've been making the noises that we've been trying to make, and
yeah. And also, instead of attacking people, because I see in some groups, it says, the Latinas like to take the $10 jobs. No, it's not the Latinas. It's because people don't say
Did
no.
like did you
Yeah.
like a series? Because like Latinos has a very big you
Mhm.
know I don't know if say the word but like they have like a stereotype. That's the word I'm trying to
Yes.
very
Yeah. Yeah.
stereotype in our
Yeah.
industry, just along with like
Yeah.
being a black nanny as well. But I feel like
Yeah.
Latinos, we don't really hit much on like,
Mhm, mhm,
but
mhm.
I think that you should be, do like a series or even like a page or like
Yeah. Yeah.
of just, documenting like being a Latino nanny and like how
Yes. Yeah,
like
I should do something like that. Yeah.
yeah, like
How important it is that we recognize everyone is different and every because for example here in New York we have the Latinas, we have Caribbeans, the Nepalese, the
see y'all are so diverse out
Brazilians, we
yeah.
have Russians, and yeah,
Dang, I didn't even know. Yeah, you guys are so diverse. So you can make a
yeah,
whole.
it is.
So do you know there's this group in the UK? I actually just started shared a story last week about it on my page. About it's called Nanny Solitary Network, but it's like all these group that came together, like air
Yeah.
pairs and like live-in
Mhm,
nanny. Because in UK you were able to, if you were a live-in nanny or an air pair, like you could get paid like $1 an hour or like a pound an
mhm,
hour,
mhm,
and they came together like as a group, like they started a network
mhm,
like
mhm,
people to vent, and then they realized that like everybody was going through it, so they started
mhm,
going like fighting, like doing
mhm,
like
mhm,
protesting and
mhm.
going
Yeah,
to, I guess, the government out there and like trying to get these laws passed, and they ended up getting
yeah.
the law passed as like the group where
Mhm.
every air pair, any living nannies in the UK has to at least get the minimum
Wait.
national
Mhm,
minimum wage, which I mean, that's
mhm.
we got to start somewhere in our industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the big start. Like I'm like, that's not the end of it. And they even said that in the article. There was like, this is even the beginning of something. Like this is just one little thing that we have accomplished,
Yes.
and we got thousands of others. But then I was thinking, I'm
Yeah.
like, I know that there's some nannies out here that have dealt with things coming to here,
Yes.
basically,
Mhm.
and had to learn
Yeah.
fight for themselves in the United States.
Yeah, that's the one of the issues with being a nanny because you had to fight with you had to be your own
HR,
attorney.
yeah.
Yeah.
I say it
Yeah.
all the time on my channel. I'm like, we literally are
It's
our
yeah.
own everything, HR, boss, like all of that. Like
Yeah, and if you don't know how to advocate for yourself, it's like okay, that's kind of the take advantage. Mhm.
yeah,
And
and like for a lot of people that are coming from over, and I don't know if you experienced it, but like you just
yeah,
have to learn how to advocate yourself and learning to do it. So you'd be a good person,
yeah,
good.
that's what I try to do, and like advocate for these nannies and advocate all domestic workers, no? And then it's like empower them. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can do it. Go, go, go. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Go, go,
yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
No, I think
And sometimes it's pretty nice when they come back to me and say, "Oh yes, Meches, I listen to you and I say no to my employers. This is the first time." Like Meches will say no.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I love that.
you
Yeah,
could be like a coach for
yes,
Latino, like the
yes, yeah,
Latino
that's yeah,
community, like learning how to advocate yourself for that, and like
yes,
at least starting in that niche and then making your way to
yeah,
being a
yeah,
coach
yeah.
for
That's what I was trying to do that because it's really so important
no,
that
like
everyone is treated
you're
with
very
the
passionate
respect and
about it.
dignity. Yes. Yeah,
Every time I talk to you, you're always passionate about something
yeah, yeah.
um, like yeah, that ain't right. Like sticking up for yourself, which I love about you.
Yeah, that's why I it's like I stop sharing sometimes in my Instagram page because I want to create this how I can do this kind of stuff in my page. I trying to learn how to do it in a nice way.
Yeah, it is the process. Trust me.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it is a
Yeah,
process.
it is because these things can get you so mad, and you can say stuff that you can like. Okay, I shouldn't say that.
Right.
Yeah,
See, that's where
yeah, because
I've been
this.
very careful about mine. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the day somebody is not gonna like what I just said, but I'm like, hey, like, I'm just waiting for the day
yeah,
because
that's like okay.
or I
Should
shared a story that was about like the nanny, and like it's the nanny coming to reach out to me, like, how dare you? I'm like, hey, so it's out there, so I'm sharing it. Like, so no, yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
So
it
I
is.
have one more question for you.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
could go back to tell yourself when you first started nanny, what would you say to yourself and to anybody that is coming to the nanny industry? What is some advice you would give them? First,
I
you
will
can
say
start
to
with what
my
you tell
no,
yourself.
I will say to myself to be more proud being a nanny, and
Yeah,
also to stand for yourself. And when you see this, they doing something wrong to you, they say no, that's not correct. You should don't, you
not
cannot
being
do
afraid
that.
to.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I will say
yeah,
that to the youngest, and also to the young nannies that want to start, or the people that want to start. Reach out to the older ones. When you
yes.
see that it says career nanny for more than 20 years, call them and ask them how to
I'm,
negotiate and how you can
I'm
practice interviews and stuff like that. Yeah.
yes,
Don't be
me too.
afraid to, yeah, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, no, that's, I
Because if
mean,
you
she's
get the,
so right, guys, because that's exactly kind of how I started with the nanny.
yeah.
I've only been in nanny industry for 4 years,
Mm-hmm,
but for
mm-hmm,
some people, they're like, only four? And I'm like, it's just because I connected myself with you guys as the nannies that have been in it for years. And
yeah.
I heard y'all stories, and I was like, oh, no, like, let me learn this real quick, because I'm like, this is not it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, like, yeah. So
Yeah,
that advice is one of the best, is being
yeah.
connected in the nanny
Mm-hmm,
community. Like, that does something for you, like just being able to, like, making a page or like getting
yeah.
involved in the group helps
Mm-hmm,
as well. But like you said, connecting with like an older person that
mm-hmm,
has an experience, because
mm-hmm.
especially a person like you that's not afraid to tell you what's up, like, to tell you the raw of it, because that's where I'm like, I need to know the raw, like all of it, so I can really
Yes, yeah.
my decisions of what I need to do. So yeah, you're one I was so glad I connected with you when I first started becoming a nanny, because I was like, oh yeah, I learned from her. I learned from a lot of other people that have been in this industry
Yes,
for a while.
yeah. And also the like right for a younger people, for a new one they want to start, do a research of who is in your area, like groups in your area, and don't be afraid of going. Go to the groups, and if you see there is a meetup with nannies, go to the meetups and get to know nannies in your area and ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that helps a lot too. And then yeah, or even if you're like outside, like at the park, and like you see, because like we see I see nannies all the time. I'm
Yeah,
at the park.
yeah, yeah,
She's definitely a nanny. So
yeah,
like a couple times I'll just go up to her, I'm like, "Are you a nanny?" Like, and then I made nanny friends like that way.
yes, yeah, me too, me
Like,
too.
yeah, I'm a nanny. Like, so now we go to the park every day.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
it's like I'm a coworker. Like, I got somebody I can talk to
yes.
besides this little baby.
Yeah, it
And
is important to have your community. And for also because for me, when I went to the first time to Domestic Workers United, that was the organization I started doing the advocacy work. Oh, that changed my life. It was changed my life. And then don't be afraid to go to these places and be there and speak your mind.
yeah.
Like I always say, start complaining in the kitchen or in the living room in your house. Come to the places and ask them what you need and what is the demands that you want to be
Yeah.
see, the
Yeah.
changes that you want to see.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's good, Meeches. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, Meeches, for sitting
No,
down
you're welcome. My
with us.
pleasure.
We are so we just love you, and I'm just so
Ah, thank you. Me too, Ashley. And I admire you because just for years, but you're doing so much for us.
appreciate it. No, I
Because,
couldn't have done it without your support. You've been the main person that's been there for me through riding along with me, and I can't thank you enough for through it
no, my
all. So
pleasure.
I can't wait to meet you one day when we're in person. Like, we've been
Yeah.
talking for 4 years over the thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for a conference where I can meet all these people.
Yeah.
To see the people.
Hopefully.
We can
Yeah.
go
Hopefully
out. So I was
soon.
like, I know Meeches be having fun, so I can't
Yeah.
wait to go out with her one day. So we can't
Yeah,
thank
it
you
is.
enough.
It
So
is.
thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing your
No,
name.
my pleasure. Any questions that anyone else has, you can contact me.
I was gonna say, guys, I'm gonna put all her information down below
Mm-hmm.
with how to find her on Instagram and Facebook and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. How to reach out to her
Mm-hmm.
email as well. She's a very good person just to sit,
Thank
talk,
you.
chat with, to vent.
Yes.
Meeches is one of those. She's a good nanny sister, and
Oh, thank
you
you.
know that.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to help anyone. I don't
Yeah,
want people suffer the way I did. And then let's leave each other
yeah,
and make
right.
this
We love it.
professional better than for us and for everyone. Yes. Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashley.
We'll see you guys next
Thank
week.
you. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Y'all, how amazing was that? Isn't she just freaking fantastic? Fantastic. That's why her Instagram name, so everybody stop what you're doing and go follow Meeches right now. Her Instagram name is the fantastic professional nanny, because that's exactly who she is. Thank you, Meeches, for sitting down with us and allowing us to hear your story. I love you, and I know a lot of other nannies behind me love you just as much. It was an honor to hear a little bit more about you and get to know you a little bit more. So thank you. Guys, we will see you all next week for our nanny interview as well. We're going on our 4th interview. Who do we got up next? Who do we have? Let's see. We'll see you guys actually on Monday for our announcement episode. If you have an announcement or an event coming up, please use our mention program so we can get you shouted out and on our episode for this Monday. All right, guys. Love you all. See you on Monday, and see you next Friday as well for our next nanny interview. Bye, guys.